How's it going, everyone? This is Senior Attorney Sherrod Seward with Sherrod Sports Visas. I run the sports immigration practice for Oakhurst Legal Group. And today we're continuing our discussions on our global mobility chat. And we're going to be talking about the finally, the ending of the COVID travel ban, travel restrictions that are going on in Europe, Brazil, China, India, and South Africa. So I'm going to bring in one of our senior attorneys, Pryde, to talk about the topic. And here he is. Let's give him a chance to get his, there he is. That was quick. We did it right this time. Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, I just got done kind of introducing the topic. Right now, we're going to talk about the travel restrictions for the COVID-19 ending. And it's something we've been dealing with a lot over the past 2 years. Started with the Trump administration basically saying that Europeans in the Schengen countries, Brazil, India, South Africa, and China can't come to the United States if you've been physically present in those countries for 14 days. And not only that, it has caused a lot of problems with getting timely visa interviews.
Absolutely. And a lot of clients have been very frustrated about that.
Yeah, they think it's our fault.
Exactly.
All right, so what we're going to do today is talk about the October 25th release from the Biden administration that they're going to roll back these restrictions and allow travel for foreign nationals that are vaccinated. So we're going to kind of get into what that means, because our phones are already starting to blow up and people are asking questions that we may or may not know, but we're going to show them the source that we're getting it from so they can see it as well. So
exactly.
Yeah, we'll start like what I'll do is I'll share my screen so they can see the information that's also available to us. Only one can share at a time. Yeah, let's share. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. And here you go. The fact sheet. Biden administration releases additional details for implementing a safer, more stringent international air travel system. So it seems to be the first thing that we see here that this doesn't say land crossing, right?
Correct.
So to me, I think that says that if you're in, if you've been in Europe and then you go to Canada and you try to drive over, do you think you'll be stopped, Pryde? Do you think they're going to let you in?
I think they'll let you in.
I disagree. I think no. I think they're going to say no. Go to Toronto and fly over. I think
they'll not let you come by land, but they'll let you come by air.
Right. But yeah, that's how it is. I used to get a call maybe about a year and a half ago, a lot from soccer players that were coming from Canada trying to drive over, or race car drivers, and they would not let them bring their cars over the border. So they'd have to ship their car and fly over to like Buffalo or Detroit and then continue coming. Yep. All right.
Okay.
So if we're talking about it, like, so say, Pryde, if you were a European looking to come over, what's the first thing you think you would want to know about the new release?
Well, the first thing would be that, if I'm going to be let in, and what other restrictions are there? How about the vaccine? Will I need to be vaccinated?
Right.
Before I get in?
Gotcha. That's what I would go for. Like, what does it mean? Because there's definitely a couple of different variations of the vaccine out there, and how does it need to be documented? So here, we're on the whitehouse.gov. So they will be required to be fully vaccinated and to provide proof of vaccination status prior to getting on the airplane. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. Okay, so the airlines will be the ones that are actually doing the matching. They'll need to see the vaccination match the name and date of birth, and then determine if the record was issued by an official source. So it looks like you can't just get your cousin to write up a little report for you, print it off, and you can come. It's going to have to be from an official government agency, which begs the question, what if you come from a place where that might not be so robust and it might be hard to get official documentations from the government? We'll see further on if they have something for that. Let's see. I'll let you. So the question I had was kind of what vaccines are they going to look for? Can you see this, Pryde?
Yeah, I can see it, but it's really small. I cannot read it.
Okay, let's see if we can make it bigger. Is that better?
That's much better.
All right. So it looks like they're deferring to the CDC has determined for the purposes of travel, vaccines accepted will include FDA or authorized and World Health Organization emergency lists. So that's interesting. So here in the United States, I think we have three. How many vaccines do we have that are FDA approved?
I think we have I think 3 of them.
Right, I know. So there's Pfizer.
There's Pfizer. There is Moderna.
And Johnson and Johnson. Is that
and
right?
Johnson and no. I think Johnson and Johnson was pulled out.
Oh, it's pulled out. Okay. All right. Well, either way, it's probably something where if you go and Google search FDA approved. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh, COVID vaccine. I always go away from the ads. It's probably in there somewhere. But to be safe, FDA probably means Pfizer, Moderna, and then I'm sure the World Health Organization, maybe they have some more.
Their own list. Correct.
Yeah, their own list. All right. So here, this is a good thing. So like, what if I get vaccinated yesterday? Can I get on? Can I get on the plane if I just got vaccinated yesterday? Let's see.
Yeah, yes. If you got say 2 weeks after receipt of the last dose.
Right. So you're gonna have to wait 2 weeks.
The single dose.
Mm-hmm. It's a 2 weeks, a 2 week wait. So
correct.
You can't just get the shot and get on the plane. You're gonna have to have been got your last dose 2 weeks before
prior to your
attempting
travel.
to board. Yeah.
Correct.
Enhanced testing previously. Let's see if there's anything. So it looks like you'll still need a negative COVID test result. Yeah. Even if you're fully vaccinated. For anyone traveling the United States who cannot demonstrate proof of a full vaccination, they will have to produce documentation of a negative test within 1 day of departure. I wonder how they're going to enforce that. So they're saying once you get here, then you're going to have to provide a negative test within 1 day of leaving. Okay, of leaving. So
of leaving, not of arrival.
Right. So this might be a little confusing. They're saying for anyone traveling to the United States who cannot demonstrate proof of full vaccination. So who would that be? That would be United States citizens, probably legal permanent residents. And then it might be people that have the 212F waivers, which are national interest exemptions. So there are exceptions that we've been dealing with a lot with our athletes that allow them to come directly from Europe, even if they were in those restricted travel countries when they're issued these special waivers. But now there's a question like, okay, now that there is no COVID travel restriction for vaccinated travelers, does this mean if I have a 212F waiver, I can come and I'm not vaccinated? Now, I had one of my large clients, Top Rank, actually reach out directly to Customs and Border Protection because they're an approved sports league. And they were told, we don't know. We are waiting for more details, which kind of like worries me that there might be chaos if, the administration doesn't really get clarity soon on the details of this. Because if Customs and Border Protection coronavirus coordination cell doesn't know, and it's October 27th, we're going to go into a weekend, and then this is going to start rolling out the week after that. I'm a bit concerned.
I am too.
Yeah. All right,
and the requirements for children, I think that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
We recently had a client that was planning on traveling with his kids, and I think they were in Germany, and they were requiring the kids to be vaccinated. I think this clears things up.
Oh, wow. All right, let's see what it says. Children under 18 are accepted. Is that supposed to be exempted?
Exempted.
Did they is that a typo? White House?
Yep, it's supposed to be exempted from the vaccination requirement for foreign national travelers.
Right. That's not a good sign, is it? Who posted this?
It was rushed. It was rushed out.
Yeah. Children between the ages of 2 and 17 are required to take pre-departure tests. So you still need the negative test results for the babies.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now, this is the part that people are asking a lot about. Limited exemptions from the vaccination requirement. Now, clients, potential clients, people that we're talking with, this is the White House fact sheet, and these 2 paragraphs are all we really know about this exempt thing. And let's parse through it and see if we can get something tangible out of it. There are a very limited set of exceptions from the vaccination requirement of foreign nationals. This includes children, what we talked about, certain COVID-19 vaccine clinical trial participants, that's very narrow. Those with medical contraindications. What is that word? Contraindications. Is this a word?
Contraindications.
Let's go ahead and run that word. Okay. It is a word. Okay, so that's good. A contraindication is a specific situation in which a drug, procedure, or surgery should not be used because it may be harmful to the person.
So someone who is allergic, basically, to it.
Yeah.
That might have some kind of a negative reaction from taking the vaccine.
Hey, we learned a new word today. That's good.
Yeah, we did.
And those who need to travel for emergency or humanitarian reasons. Okay, so maybe this is where the 212F waiver comes in, because they didn't say and humanitarian reasons. They said travel for emergency or humanitarian reasons.
It's one or the other.
Right. So, and it says with a government issued letter affirming the urgent need for travel. So maybe this is where we find that those 212F waivers come in for the emergency, because you do get a government issued email that says that you've been exempt from the COVID travel restrictions. So maybe that's where it'll come in. And then finally, those who are traveling on non-tourist visas from countries with low vaccine ability, as determined from the CDC. So let's see, is there a list for this? And then other very narrow categories. How would you know? I feel like that is so
vague. That is so vague.
Right. Oh my goodness. So right now I'm searching to see if there's a list of countries with low vaccine availability. Oh. Yeah, this looks like it's saying the same thing. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. So on this website, the CDC coronavirus, they have their accepted COVID-19 vaccines. J&J's on here for the single dose, so that's good. Pfizer and Moderna on here. And then it also talks about their acceptable proof. Do I qualify or can I apply for an exception? All right. So look, we found something better. So maybe we go straight to the source, forget the White House. Let's go to the CDC. Do I or can I apply? If you're a non-citizen, you must show proof of being vaccinated. So this didn't say how to apply, because I imagine it'd probably have to be with the consulate. All right. So persons who would be in the, oh, look at this. Here we go. Persons who would be considered in the national interest as determined by the Secretary of State, Secretary of Transportation, or the Secretary of Homeland Security. So again, for those 212F waivers for athletes, the Secretary of Homeland Security, DHS. So that would be at the consulate, but this doesn't mention CPB. So the athletes 212F waiver, maybe not under this, but if you get the national interest exemption at the consulate, like if you're a medical professional or some type of, disaster relief, that would fall under the Secretary of Homeland Security, DHS, or the Secretary of State. No, that'd be DHS.
That'll be DHS.
Yeah. All right. Can I qualify for an exemption of proof of vaccination requirement for religious reasons? No. There are no exceptions for religious reasons or other moral convictions. What do I need to show I have a medical contraindication? Well, we just went over here. You must show a letter from a licensed physician documenting the medical contraindication to the airline. Okay. Well, that seems pretty good.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't even have to show this to the government. You can show this directly to the airline.
To the airline.
But I imagine they might be kind of hesitant about that. So it must be signed on official letterhead. Talk about the vaccine, has sufficient personal identifiable information, full name, date of birth. Okay, and you probably should have it in English. How to apply for a humanitarian or emergency exception. The CDC may grant an emergency exception only when an individual must travel to the United States to preserve health and safety. Okay, so for these exemptions under the emergency exception, this is completely different from CBP. They're talking about their own CDC. This is different. This is very different, has their own emergency exception hotline.
Correct.
Wow. And here we go. Where can I find a list of limited vaccine availability? There we go. Let me make this bigger. So we did find a list of the countries. Afghanistan.
Oh, that's quite a lot of countries.
Yeah, but also like not really. Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, when you look at all, yeah. So a lot of Africa is on here. Most of Africa.
Yes.
Afghanistan. Well, it looks like this is pretty much only Africa, except for a few Middle East countries. All right. So it looks like Africa is free to come through without the vaccination. That's very good to know.
But they have to remember that they need to have a negative test.
That's true. They need the test. Now, here's the thing. Do you have to be a citizen? List of foreign countries. Because so you might be English and you're in Mozambique. Does that mean that you can just, well, I guess so. I guess that means that, yeah, you can come in without the vaccine. You know what I mean? So say if you're not from Libya, but you're in Libya, can you go to Libya and then come here? Right.
So, which means that they are considering your point of departure and not your nationality.
They are. Look, claiming this exception has one, a passport issued by a foreign country with limited vaccine availability, and a valid non-immigrant visa that is not a B1 or B2. Okay. That's big. So you do have to have a passport from one of these countries.
country.
And an actual like work visa. So you have to have like an F1 student visa, a P1 athlete's O1. You can't come on the visitor visa.
Visitor's visa.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That's good to know. Yeah, we need to get off the Biden administration website, go straight to the CDC, because that's where the grown people are.
Yeah, they seem to be more targeted and pretty straightforward and not vague, like the administration statement. It's pretty vague.
Right. What documentation do I need what documentation is needed to show my entry to the United States is in the U.S. national interest? You need to show an official U.S. government letter documenting approval of the exception. That is kind of vague, come from where? So it looks ultimately for our athletes, we don't have any concrete information on whether these waivers are going to work out. If it did, I think it would be under this category, which is my entry to the United States is in the U.S. national interest, because we know that it's not the emergency exception, because these are given from the CDC directly.
Correct.
And then we also know that you can't circumvent the vaccine requirement by going to a country with low vaccine availability, because your passport has to be there. And then we also know that there are no religious or moral exceptions to this as well. It almost looks like you have to have some type of allergy or allergic
to the vaccine.
Yeah, that seems to be the easiest one, is like if you have the physician's letter and take it to the airport. Other than that, you might have to do some heavy lobbying to avoid this requirement. And like I said, for the athletes and coaches out there, we did reach directly out to Customs and Border Protection Coronavirus Coordination Cell to see if the 212F waivers issued from them will get you through. And they said, we don't know. And we'll tell you when they tell us. I wonder who they is. But when we find out, we'll come with another update. But that's what we have to offer the world on the changes coming up November 8th. We hope that you found it. I hope it did something for you. And if not, we'll be back soon. So everybody out there, stay safe. Getting vaccinated does have its advantages. Not pushing it on anybody, but they are making it a lot easier to come into the United States if you're fully vaccinated. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us by phone, 704-243-8178, or by email, info@OAKLG.com. So that's info@OAKLG.com. Have a good one.